Here Aman Gupta has these two statements and then I legally break it down for you.
आप मुझे हैमर का ब्रांड बेच आपकी कंपनी मुझे बेचोगे?
हाँ जी.
Now for most people these two statements will have the same meaning and probably this is what Aman Gupta also wanted to convey. But if you were to analyze these statements legally, they would have different legal meanings, different instruments to be used and different legal consequences as well. Now if you hear the first statement, here Aman talks about buying the brand and not the company itself.
आप मुझे हैमर का ब्रांड बेचो. आप रेडी हो?
And this term brand, even though it's not a legally defined term, but what it essentially means in the business as well as in the legal sense is the intellectual property along with its goodwill. And how exactly is a brand purchased? I can explain it through you with this present scenario where Aman Gupta made this statement to the founder of a company called Hammer, which is a direct competitor to Aman Gupta's company Boat. And in this case, if the transaction were to go through, the transaction would have been done through an instrument called the assignment deed, through which the intellectual property of Hammer, including the trademark, copyrights and designs, would be transferred to Aman, and Aman would become the owner of the intellectual property only, but he would have no business with the parent entity that sold this IP to him, which means that this parent entity can run whatever business it wants to and Aman will not have a say in the company. But now if you come to the second statement that he made, here you will realize that he's not talking about purchasing the brand but purchasing the company itself.
आपकी कंपनी मुझे बेचोगे? 1 crore I'll buy your company.
And in a transaction where a company is being purchased, then the legal instrument that is to be used is called as a share purchase agreement. And once it is executed, then the legal consequence of it will be that Aman Gupta as the shareholder will now have control over all the resources of the company, which obviously includes the intellectual property, but can also have land, real estate, or machinery, whatever the company has access to. But one additional thing that is going to happen in this transaction is that Aman Gupta as a shareholder will be liable for the liabilities of the company to a limited extent, which is something that was not happening in the case of purchase of brand through an assignment deed.